Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Katie's Kiss. So, this is the day that I am going to start talking about what happened. And if I get emotional, it is what it is. Like I mentioned in my past videos, there's no edits, there's no filters. I'm not here to hide anything. So yeah, it is what it is. And I just hope that if you all have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. So let's see. So 4 years ago, I went to bed fine. Matter of fact, I think that night I was relaxing, watching movies. I think I ate some pizza or something, and ended up falling asleep. And I woke up with something that seemed to be, looked to appear as a bite on my lip. So I'm like, I'm not worried about it. Maybe a mosquito bit me or something. So I went on and brushed my teeth, washed my face, the normal, got ready for work and everything. And days went on, months went on, and it got bigger. So I went to see a doctor, my PCP. And she's like, I don't know, I can't figure it out. Do you bite your inside of your mouth? Do you grind your teeth at night? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, I'm not a teeth grinder. I don't bite my cheeks. I don't do any of that. But whenever they examined, or the PCP examined the inside of my mouth, she had seen that there were like some, bumps inside of my cheeks. So she concluded that I do bite the inside of my cheeks. So she had referred me to a dentist. So I went to my dentist. They had examined me, and she actually said that whatever is going on with my lip, that is not in any type of relation to biting my cheeks or anything like that while I'm sleeping. I guess my PCP thought it could have been an infection. Excuse me. So whenever I got done with my dentist, I kind of left it alone. I said maybe it's just something that I ate or that I'm allergic to. So I'm like, I'll just wait and see what happens. So weeks passed again. I ended up going to a different doctor. I seen a rheumatologist because at that point it grew larger. Nothing that I was doing was helping. I seen a rheumatologist for 6 months where he ran numerous tests, blood work, different lab results, lab tests. He really couldn't pinpoint where it stemmed from or where it came from. So he then put me on some steroids. He was like, well, maybe the steroids will help. Maybe it will eliminate any of the inflammation in my lip. So I was on steroids for a good 3 or 4 months. The steroids did help. It did go down, which I was like, yes, it's over. That was the cure. So I stopped seeing him for maybe a good month. My lip was okay, back to normal. Then it came back. I'm like, Dad. So I went back to him. I said, doctor, it's coming back. It came back. What do we do? So that would have been the 5th month that I did see him, because I seen him total 6 months. So the 5th month, I'm like, came back. What do we do? So he gave me probably 5 medications to try. I'm like, what? 5 medications. And mind you, I'm not a medicine taker. I cannot stand medicine. If I'm sick or if I have a migraine, I will refuse to take any medicine. I just let it ride out. But he was confident that these medications would work. Mind you, I don't have a diagnosis yet. So I said, okay, I'll take them. So I took it. He's continuing to run lab results, run lab tests, things of that such. And still the same thing, still the same result. The medicines didn't work. I just felt a disconnect from this doctor at that point. I said, I can't keep seeing this doctor. He's doing the same exact thing. I'm over it. So I went in to see a ENT. The ENT, let's just say before I start off with that, I've seen every doctor in the book that you can possibly think of. I was on 26 medications. I've seen, like I said, every specialty, ENTs, PCPs, dentists, allergists, rheumatologists, dermatologists, the whole nine. I've been poked so many times in my arms. It's to the point that my veins don't even work when it comes down to getting lab work or anything like that. Like, they have to call in the the IV team. They have to call in the IV team now on me because they can never get a good vein. They have to poke me in my hands sometimes, to like my lower arm. It has got so bad with these lab tests. So so going back, so I went to see my ENT, and ENT had did a biopsy on me. He said, well, let's take a biopsy, see if there's like anything in the inside, see if it's cancerous, blah, blah, blah. The results came back. It wasn't cancerous. It wasn't a tumor. It wasn't nothing. But you can't tell me it's not nothing when my lip is big. And mind you, it was not this big back then. So it has grown larger. So I'm like, you can't tell me it's nothing. There's something there, like my body, there's something in my body that you guys need to figure out. I can't figure it out. I'm not trained in this. So you have to tell me what it is. Okay, what it is. Tell me what it is. So fast forward, I've seen the ENT couldn't do anything. I went into dermatology. Dermatology sound promising. After doing some research online, my husband doing research online, there was something called oral granulomatosa colitis. And I guess that diagnosis is within the dermatology field. So I looked up a dermatology center, and I had found a dermatologist where she was okay. She did the same exact thing that my rheumatologist did. She gave me steroids without really digging in to what's causing it. So it's like these doctors was just so quick to give me medication to see if it's going to work. I really felt like a guinea pig, like a testing guinea pig. So back to steroids. At that time, whenever she gave me steroids, it did not work at all because my body was starting to reject it because I was on steroids for so long. So remember when I told you earlier where the steroids did work and I did go back to my normal size, now the steroids wasn't doing anything. So she went on to say, well, let's try injections, like a steroid injection. I guess her answer, because everything is localized, I don't have any rashes, no bumps anywhere, etc. Let's try injecting the steroid inside of my lip. And that did not work either. So I ended up switching to a whole different healthcare network. And I said, you know what, I'm tired of these doctors. These doctors are not doing anything for me. Let me switch to a different network. So I switched to a different network, and I went through to see an allergist. And the allergist, they did my allergy test, and it came back to say that I'm allergic to seasonal allergies, which I already knew. And then they said I'm allergic to cockroaches. I was like, cockroaches, what? But thank God I don't have those. But and then I have a mild allergy to soy. I said, soy, what? Everything has soy in it. Like, I'm not going to stop eating soy or monitoring soy. You know, what are you talking about, doctor? So she was like, once she gave me those results, I said, okay, well, maybe I'll change my eating. So I changed my eating a little bit. I started monitoring what goes in, what comes out. I started looking up my ingredients in my foods and tried to pretty much shy away from soy. They even gave me an EpiPen, which I said I was kind of happy about. I said, well, boom, maybe it's because I'm allergic to soy. Let me go shoot myself with the EpiPen and call it a day. That's not how it works. Doctor was like, no, that's not how it works, because, you know, typically with the EpiPen, as many of you may know, it's whenever you are literally down to the ground, can't breathe. It's there to pretty much help you until the ambulance comes. So at that moment of time, obviously I was fine. I could breathe. I can swallow. Like my throat wasn't closing. So the EpiPen wasn't the treatment for my lip. So I went into see another different dermatologist inside of this new network. I met him, and out of all of the doctors that I've seen, he was by far the most caring doctor. Like, he understood me. He felt my pain. He felt where I was coming from, and he really treated me like I was like his daughter or something. He was like, wow, you've seen all these doctors and you've been poked this many times, and I seen that you had a couple biopsies done and this and that, and I'm here to help you. You know, I want to help you. Let's do this, you know. So he took the time out to really see and figure out what in the world it had caused it. And he diagnosed me with oral granulomatosa colitis. And that's when we started, I guess, moving into, I guess, a positive path. I felt like I was going to come up with some answers and get treated. And yes, thank you. At this time, I'm already in my second year with going through this. It's been 4 years till today, but this is my second year when I finally switched over to a different health network. So he's like, wow, you have been through a lot. You know, he can tell in my face that I was just over it. So at that point, he did give me some medications. He did give me more steroids. He said, Ms. Davis, I know that you've been on steroids before, but he was confident with whatever this concoction of medicine was, it will work well with steroids, and that wasn't the case. So I got let down again. Fast forward, he had thought that maybe he wanted me to go see a different doctor. He wanted me to go see a gastro. He said, well, have you ever thought about maybe having a gastro problem? I guess he thought maybe Crohn's disease. I guess Crohn's disease is associated with inflammation. So I then went to a gastro doctor, did the whole did the whole upper and lower GI, and it came back that I had supposedly I had what is it? Oh, what is it called? I had to be on a gluten-free diet. So I'm like, so you're diagnosing me with this condition. I have to take Humira. I have to live gluten-free now. And you're telling me if I change my diet to not have gluten-free, then I will be cured. He's like, yes. It's like, okay. So I changed my whole eating habits again. I went gluten-free. Gluten-free is very expensive, by the way. It's like the worst expense you can possibly have other than your normal bills, but I'm exaggerating. But it really is expensive. So my whole household, we changed our eating habits to fit my needs. My husband was like, you know what, we're going to all do it, not just you. So it helped me with following the path I should be following as far as my eating. So come back, went back to a follow-up appointment with the gastro, and he was like, let's do some more lab work, see how you're doing, and see if it's still there. Well, the results came back. Long story short, I never had the diagnosis that they thought I had. So I was eating gluten-free for no reason. For 2 whole months, I was living a lifestyle that I thought that would change me, and it didn't. At the same time, I was sticking myself with Humira, thinking that would help my condition as well. I had nurses come to my home to show me how to stick myself, which was it was painful, only to find out I never had this diagnosis. So I went back to the doctors and everything, and the dermatologist that I was seeing, the one that I said that, he was just like the highlight. He had sent me to a different ENT doctor to do another biopsy where they cut the outside of my lip. And that is when everything happened and took a turn for the worse. After the biopsy was done, I don't know how it happened. I don't know if it was a dirty needle that was used, but I contracted a staph infection. That was the worst part of everything. Not only do I have to deal with having a bigger lip, trying to adjust my life from what I used to be, now I am stuck with a staph infection. That staph infection took over my body, mentally and physically. And to know that I got it from a person who I trust with my body, with my lip, to properly sterilize the equipment. And this took a turn for the worse. The staph infection kept coming back. Every time I took medication, it kept coming back. And I'm probably gonna have to stop right here so I can kind of refocus, because now I'm having flashbacks of that day. So please stay tuned, and I will finish up with Katie's Kiss Part 1.